Hello everybody, and welcome back to my room and to my channel. You'll probably hear me say that again in a couple seconds because this is Carlo from the future, just kind of tacking on to the front of the video to give you guys some updates just real quick before you watch. So I wanted to tell you that Sunday Scaries is going to be moving over to my Patreon. So if you like Sunday Scaries, it will be over there. I made that decision with the help of some of my Patreons, just because I want to open myself up to posting a little more experimentally on the main channel. So I'm going to be trying some different things, and want to put a little more effort into my videos that I post on Thursday. So I hope you guys are on board with that. I understand if you're gonna miss the Sunday Scaries. It's probably not gonna be forever, but it's just for now. I need some I don't know, I need to be able to focus on, like I said, putting more energy into my Thursday videos. And yeah, so it'll just be for now, and I hope you guys enjoy. It's good to be recording again. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my room and to my channel. I'm finally recording with my AC on. I've been doing some research into actually editing audio to first of all know more about, ASMR and audio and stuff like that, but also to kind of help me better, obviously, produce my videos. So we're gonna see if I can't get the low white noise out of the video, but I actually have just a kind of chill preamble, is that what you would call something like this, to my Sunday Scaries story, which I haven't actually picked out yet, because I usually will pick out the stories prior to recording, because where I am, there's really no cell service in here. It's quite awful. So it's just really hard to, sit here and pick a video. So anyway, yeah, so what I'm gonna be doing though, prior to that, is, I'm gonna show you guys some of the stationery items that are kind of like Carlo essentials. Got my hands on my hips right now. But yeah, so I'm gonna show you guys some stationery, and there are all sorts of different things. I have quite a few different types of things. I have some pens, some sketchbooks, some notepads, just different things like that, to show you. And they all have something in common. I'm looking to make sure, but I'm pretty sure. So if you figure out what it is, put it down in the comments, and let me know. So obviously I have two microphones here. It's I don't know how you guys do it in your ASMR videos, other creators, because these microphones here, it's hard to reach over and not be awkward, I guess, but maybe you guys like that. Honestly, it's not that bad. Anyway, enough of that. So the first thing I have here is something that you guys have seen for many times. So I thought we'd start out with something you know. So So this is my current sketchbook that I've been using. I've shown it in a few different videos. Used it in my artist roleplay I did. Got some really nice stickers on here that I'm proud of. I can't really tell you like everywhere I got these because I don't really know if I remember. This like orange one, I forgot where I got that. This one I got from an artist on Instagram. They're actually an artist that I really like and was very inspired by. I think their name is Nevahosking. I'll try to put their profile below. I'm sure they still sell stickers or something. So yeah, Nevahosking on I think I'm saying it right, Hosking, on Instagram for that black and white. They do all of their art, at least that they post on that profile, with Bic rollerball pens. So their lines and their shading all kind of have this inky, dark, like intentional like look to them. I don't know how else to describe it. It's very realistic, but it's also if I can get it to focus, but it's also got these really interesting hatches and stuff on them. And you know, drawing and shading with rollerball pens, it can be tricky because you can get kind of a buildup on the end of the pen, which can obviously make it you know, they make for some intentionally heavy marks, or like, I guess you could say like debris on the page. So you know what, my new thing is like air quotes in my videos. I swear I've done them so many times recently. This one I got, I think I said before, I got from that bookstore in, I think it's called The Strand in New York City. Thought it was cute and kind of fit the vibe. Honestly, I have to say, I think this might be one of my favorite sketchbooks that I've had. Not just because of the quality of the paper, but because I love Leuchtturm paper and their stationery and stuff, but also just I love that it's like kind of what is this, vertical, and sorry, I got like paranoid I wasn't recording my audio. And yeah, I just think it's interesting. It's the first one I've had that I've used vertically like this. I think it's a nice size. Let me open it up here. I'll show you guys the latest drawing. It's not really a drawing, it's more just a sketch. I recently went to a cat cafe, and there was a little cat sitting on my table. I started to draw him standing or sitting, standing kind of. And he moved and loafed like that, so that's how I drew him. And then there was one sleeping in a little cat tree. But there's a lot of people in there, so the cats kept kind of going wherever they wanted. And yeah, so but that's how I drew them. I really have been trying to like reconnect with that part of me, and to be fully like to tell the whole story, I guess. When I started working as much as I like did at 9 to 5 and stuff, I loved it for certain things, but it was also like I kind of sacrificed a part of myself, like an artistic part of myself, to make that happen. And I'm not saying it was impossible for me to draw, you know, working like that, but it definitely requires a lot of energy and inspiration to make art. So, and I just wasn't really in that space, I guess. It's like I said in my Q&A video, it's very environmentally impactful. That kind of makes it sound wrong. My environment impacts me a lot, and I have to be inspired, which I don't think is abnormal. Anyway, that's this sketchbook. I hope to do like a full actual tour from the top down at some point in the future. I really want to get one of those. There's a thing you can clamp onto your desk, and you can put your phone on it and record overhead. I feel like that would be pretty good to make something like that for you guys. So if you're interested, maybe that's an investment I'll make. So yeah, I think that'd be cool. I think you guys would want that. I do have some drawings that maybe I will just keep on my Patreon, just because I don't want to put them on YouTube. So maybe that'll make its way over there too sometime. I don't have many, but maybe if that's something that piques your interest. Anyway. I find it hard to do like slow tapping on certain things. Alright, let's move on. We have to move on. The next thing that's definitely important for me is whiteout. Preferably the roller kind. Bic whiteout. That was loud. Bic whiteout is definitely something that stays near me. These things are kind of flimsy. I've had a few of them break on me. I'm sure you guys have used these before. The tape can kind of come out of the side there sometimes. And sometimes you can fix it, sometimes you can't. So that can be annoying, but I make a lot of mistakes when I'm drawing or when I'm writing. And I obviously need to fix it, right? So whiteout is a good friend of mine. Preferably, like I said, this kind. It's easier to write or draw over. I also will use sticky notes to cover over drawings in pen. like I said, I will use these to cover over things in my drawings that are not really perfect or that I want to kind of fix up. So I've made good friends with these as well. I also take notes on them and reminders, and we'll just stick them. I don't want to sacrifice one. Should I sacrifice one? I'm doing it. I will stick. Let's see if it stays. Stick them on. Hopefully I don't give someone a seizure. I don't think there's anything seizure inducing about that. I think we can reuse this one. Let's put it back. But yeah, I will put them around. I have tons of them. Whenever I run out of this color though, I get very stressed. Just because they're probably like, this is definitely my favorite color. I have many favorite colors, but this one's one of my favorites. Okay. Let's move on from this sticky notes. Anyway. Moving on. So, this guy. This guy makes really good sounds. So, this is my journal. It's a bit multi-purpose. It's not specifically a journal per se, but it kind of is. It's hard to say. Typically, I will use the planes as a break to fix my hair. Fun fact for you guys. So yeah, this is a little guy, kind of like me, just something I use as a journal. I bought this with like a tiny little pencil, but I don't really use that pencil very often. I showed my boss it, and she was like, I was like, do you like my little pencil? And she was like, no. And I was like, why? And she's like, you can't even do anything with that. It's too small, you're gonna lose it. And I was like, you don't need to be a hater. And that was that. Anyway, a little story for you about my little pencil guy. She was kind of right. I don't know where he is. Anyway, that's my little journal guy. I think it's the first like soft cover journal I've really ever owned, and I kind of like it. It's like very portable. I feel kind of like, what's the word, like irreverent maybe. I treat it with a little bit of irreverence, kind of like my phone, because I have a habit of like putting too much importance on things. So I think having something that's kind of like by its Um, like at its core, it's just kind of like meant to get ruined. Because I love when I put it down, I'm still talking about it. It bends and it's kind of flexible and stuff, so it's got imperfections already. So yeah. Anyway, the next thing, or really the next two things that I have here, are very similar. No, they're not. They're the same kind of thing, but they're different. And these are honestly, I think, my favorite pens that I'm using right now. This one is a Papermate Flare pen. I'm sure you've seen these. These are definitely my favorite type of pen, I think, ever to write with. I like drawing with them too. I just think writing with them is like my preferred way to use them. They do, when you draw with them on paper that's a bit like, I want to say any paper, they kind of have a nice like tapering to them. And because I don't like a line that doesn't taper very well. Because I think when you have the tapering, it kind of lends to like happy accidents in art. So, and I like to let that kind of inform what I'm doing for the most part. That sounded very pretentious. But I mean it. Anyway, so these pens are my favorite. I definitely use them a lot. Hold on for this plane. Yeah, so I definitely use these a lot. I use them in my planner and stuff, and I use them not necessarily in my journal very much, but I use them when I can. So the one thing is, with all kind of markers, they will bleed a little bit if the paper's too thin, so make sure your paper is not too thin. I think people kind of refer to these as like a teacher pen, because teachers like to grade with these, I guess. But yeah. Anyway, my wobbly pen. Let's put it down. Now, here's the other one that I have. I got this one in New York at a stationery place. I think it's pretty popular. The click is kind of too loud. It's very satisfying, but I think it's too loud for ASMR purposes. It does have these kind of ribbed things on the cap here. Yeah, so it has these ribbed kind of things here that are definitely just a design choice. It's a pretty short pen. It's a good size for me, at least. My one complaint about this pen is that when you hold it, when you're writing with it, the cap kind of like will slide off, and that's kind of annoying, but otherwise I like the weight of it, and I really like how it writes. It's very flowy and nice, because it is a you know what, I said that wrong earlier when I was talking about that girl's art. She uses ballpoint pens, not roller ball pens. There's a difference, I believe. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think there's a difference. I think it's the ink type that they use. I think a rollerball uses like um, gel-based ink, maybe. It's more of a liquidy ink. And then a ballpoint pen uses like an alcohol-based ink, I think. Again, I could be completely wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But I think that's right. This one is a ballpoint pen. And I'm a little worried about running out of ink for this one. But I do use it. That doesn't stop me from using it. So this one will usually go with my little journal guy. So that's that guy right there. The next thing that I have here that I've been trying to use more lately is this notepad. Or writing pad, as it says up there. This is a Japanese product. That stationery store is very cool because it has things from different places in the world. So they have definitely a better selection than your Barnes & Noble. It sucks though because obviously I had to go to New York to get this. Now the paper in this is very, there's no lines on it, it's just plain, but the papers are kind of glossy, which honestly I don't love. I love paper with like a little bit of a tooth to it, and some resistance. So if you like that, then I don't think this would be nice for you. I don't have a lot to say about this one because honestly, I haven't really used it that much, or at least as much as I thought I was going to use it. I'll be honest, a lot of the times I really splurge too much on stationery when I don't super need it, and I just think like, oh, I'll use it, but let's be honest, I don't need it. But it is very cool looking and very pretty, and I'm putting it to good use recently. So anyway, the last two things I have here, this is slightly similar, but not really. This is a cute little notepad guy. Haven't written anything in it yet. But I will say the paper is not too bad, and from what I can tell. And it has this little magnet latch. Very loud. like I said, I haven't really used that one yet. It's nice because you can kind of tear the pages out and do God knows what with, but it is kind of nice. The one I showed before, you also can rip the pages out, which is nice, and I have used that for stuff too. The fact that you can rip the pages out. Anyway, okay, moving on to our last thing, which we won't spend too much time on because I still have to read a story. And I've also shown this one before. This is my beloved pencil case. So, keep all sorts of things in here. Fountain pens, mechanical pencils, what is it called? Graphite refills, ink refills, whiteout, tape to tape things into my sketchbook, just stuff like that. This is a Smart, I think it's Smart Fit, it's the brand. And I got this from Jet Pens. So if you don't have one of these, pencil case that is, I would recommend this one if you're looking for one. I've had it for years and years, and I've always loved it. It's small enough, it's practical, and it's sturdy, so it made it from all my high school years to this moment, so it's awesome. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my stationery. Upon doing that, I realized I could probably do like a stationery store roleplay. I'll probably do that. Let's read a scary story though, because that's what we do here on Sunday. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so the story I have here is from r/no sleep by Johnny Colt, K-U-L-T. It's called, why is it that? It's called Took a Job Cleaning Out Old Barns in Arkansas. I wish I'd have left the last one alone. I've seen all kinds of shit since I started working for Ozark Reclaim and Clear. Raccoon nests in tractor seats, syringes in hay bales, a whole dead cow inside a collapsed shed once. Just bones and teeth like somebody peeled it like an orange. But nothing like what I found last week in the barn behind the Wells property in Marion County. The guy who hired us was some real estate flipper out of Memphis. Said the previous owner died in 2004. The land went unclaimed and the county finally released it. The farmhouse was collapsing, but the barn was sealed tight. Lock was welded shut, windows blacked out. He wanted it emptied, cleared, and salvaged. I brought my bolt cutters and figured I'd be out before lunch. First red flag, the lock. It wasn't just welded, it was wrapped in rusted chain and barbed wire, with little bits of hair caught in the twists. Looked like deer fur, but I wasn't sure. Second red flag, the smell. Not manure, not rot. Sweet like antifreeze or peaches left in a hot car, thick and clung to your nose hairs. I should have called it in, should have told the guy to send someone else, but I popped the lock, pulled open the sliding doors, and stepped into something that hasn't let me sleep since. The inside looked like it had been untouched for decades. Old lanterns hung from the rafters. Mason jars lined the shelves full of cloudy liquid in curled shapes I didn't want to examine. There was a giant plywood circle in the center of the barn, painted with a symbol I didn't recognize. It looked burned into the wood. But the worst part was the chairs. 7 of them in a ring, all different kinds. A metal folding chair, a wicker patio lounger, a kid's high chair, and all had the same thing bolted to the back: mirrors. Not store-bought mirrors either. These were hand-cut shards, silver backing faded, still caked with dust and smudges. Each one pointed toward the center of the ring. I walked around the edge, careful not to step inside. Every mirror was positioned just right, so when I looked at them, I saw a reflection of myself, but not all at once. One showed me standing, one had me bent over, one caught me mid-blink. They were all wrong, like they weren't all showing the same moment. Then the wind died. I hadn't noticed it was breezy outside until it wasn't. The air turned heavy and still. Then I heard footsteps in the rafters. Not squirrels, not raccoons. Boots, slow and deliberate. I backed towards the door and tipped over a chain I swear wasn't there before. Hit my shoulder hard, laid there dazed for maybe a few seconds. When I looked up, I saw myself standing in the center of the circle. Not a reflection. Me. Same flannel, same busted shoulder, same bolt cutters in hand, only his face was slack. Eyes rolled up, jaw hanging open like a dead deer. He took a step forward. The mirrors adjusted with him. They all shimmered like water. I heard the crackle of wood, a groan of pressure like a roof about to cave. The smell was stronger, chemical sweet and burning. I crawled out. I didn't look back. I got in my truck and peeled out, almost wrecked on the gravel. The barn door slammed shut behind me all by itself. I called the guy from Memphis and told him that the job was done. I didn't care about the money, and he never followed up. 3 nights ago, I passed that property on my way home. There's a new lock on the barn. Same rusted chains, same barbed wire, but now there are 8 chairs inside. I counted through the cracks in the wood. 8. And when I looked in the rearview mirror just for a second, I wasn't sitting alone. In the top comment, there's just one comment, he said, "Burn that thing to the ground," and I couldn't agree more. That one reminded me of, what did it remind me of? Reminded me of something, and now I can't remember. I saw this, reel earlier today about how the Vatican is allegedly, monitoring these mirrors at all times. And they're, locked up and in a vault, and apparently there's 2 of them. I don't know, it's crazy. Anyway, it just reminded me of that. the end of the video, congratulations. If you didn't, I hope you're sleeping well. Or I hope you found a better video if you turn this one off. Anyway, I am going to cut it here, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't take any jobs cleaning out barns anytime soon. And I will see you guys next time.